This presentation poses the question, why upgrade your Softcon system? Your existing access control system, why upgrade it? And yes, this presentation is aimed at the end user, you, the owner, the user of the system. Just as a background, your system has been around for a long time. It is alive, it's growing, and it will be for many years to come. And your controllers, your 5, your 1, your 100 controllers are one of many installed in many sites. Your site, one of thousands. And yes, your system, these systems are installed all over the world. And know that your system, small or big, can be configured and can be added to fit almost any requirement. And here is a list of some of the bigger installations that Softcon systems are installed at. And allow me to list one or two, to note one or two with many installations and national rollouts, interlinked as required, or complex systems linking to external equipment, doing extra tests and extra controls. Anything is possible by simply setting up, maybe adding a controller or a sensor or whatever. Your system can do many things. An obvious upgrade to your system would be the readers. You could have cards, we could give you more secure cards that cannot be duplicated. And you could even have your mobile that acts as a card. An app on your mobile, you present your mobile, simply present your mobile to the reader and access is granted or denied. No touch. You could add a remote like you have at home to open your gate, your garage door. You could have remote or a number of remotes to open up certain doors. And yes, these remotes are linked to your profile, to you. You could have clip. So on your mobile, simply speed dial a number and your number is in the system, your mobile number, and we open, grant or deny access as if you badged your card. We could have card and PIN, or both, or either, or high security times, for example, over the weekend, you have to use both. You could replace some of your readers or all of your readers with biometric readers. Fingerprint or face, you just look at this device and access granted or not. Or wave, high-speed readers, you simply wave your hand through this reader, no touch. You could have a PIN or a lock reader integrated into a lock, like you've seen at hotel doors. And you could send your visitor a one-time PIN or a PIN that will only be valid for a certain period. We could add barcode scanners or replace readers with barcode scanners, scanning assets, scanning ID numbers, ID cards, driver's licenses, for example. You could add breathalyzers, a breathalyzer randomly with certain set or preset or forced percentages of random, or on exit, a random search. Cards, we are saying we could do any card. That includes your driver's license, ID card. And you could link one card, visitor cards for example, to a host, or you could link assets to somebody, and the asset could have a profile that you know where is the asset, who had this asset. You could set up certain doors, certain readers to have multiple badges. In our example, it's your control room, you need 2 valid fingers or cards to have access. You know we do access control, but we could add much more to your system. Most of it is there already. So inputs, these are devices, things that we are monitoring. For access control, for example, your door, you should be monitoring that access control doors, giving you illegally open, door open too long, door not opened. Of course, we can have push buttons for exit, for your receptionist. We can do vehicle detection loops that the reader only works when there is a vehicle there. We could do additional sensors into the system. For example, on intrusion, the panic buttons, the infrared beams, the electric fences, all linked into your same system. We could monitor temperature, temperature to high, temperature to low. What is the temperature? We could monitor things that are, for example, a lift. It's at this floor, it's at that floor, or levels. There's too much liquid, too little liquid, etc. We could add smoke sensors into the system. So if there is a fire, you unlock all doors, for example. Then outputs. These are things that we are controlling. You do know the doors. We are controlling the locks, the barriers, the gates, etc. But we could also do the intrusion. We could switch sirens on, lights on and off, beepers on certain conditions. We can say temperature up, temperature down. We could say fill up this thing, let it go down. We could do your irrigation, your geyser, your pool pump, all integrated. So yes, execution. When are these things automatically controlled? When must we monitor them? And the one could be enabled by another one. For example, I turn this switch and then those buttons don't work. And you can interlink. If I close this, switch something on. If that happens, then this happens. All integrated into your system. All these options are possible, and probably just for a few settings and maybe the addition of additional sensor or a device that we are switching. And on the system side, there are numerous options that are available that are already in your system that you're probably not using. For access control, we can do anti-pass back, anti-time back, preventing someone from handing their card back to somebody else, limiting them, they can't go in at a certain reader within a certain period, or timeout, they're too long in an area. We could say time zones when you're allowed to go in, not at night, not on holidays, or whatever. And there are numerous options of absentee, unused cards, cards that expire, what must happen, and temporary cards if you've forgotten your card at home. These options are all in your system. As I've mentioned, multiple badge options, 2 or 3 cards or fingers to go into certain areas, random search, breathalyzer on entry, on exit do a random search, duress, your duress finger or duress pin, additional alarms connected to that event when you go in under duress. We do have built into the system all the man-trap controls, like a booth. Both doors can't go home, you need to go through a sequence. Capture the visitor card. These are all integrated in your system. You can have graphical drawings showing you the status of whatever you set this up to be. A door that's open too long, a door that has been forced open, a high temperature somewhere, and you could, on these drawings, you could have buttons to push to unlock a door, to permanently lock a door, to switch a siren on, whatever. All on drawings that you could draw. We could help you with this. There are a variety of visitor controls options built into the system. For example, linking a visitor to a host. You can only go where the host is. We can have block listing. That's that blacklisting. You are not allowed onto the site. We could send you a one-time PIN, etc. Options are vending. So we control a vending machine with your same card using for access control. You could get so many free drinks or so many coffees or subsidized or access into a canteen only once a day or maybe 20 times a month, whatever. Numerous options that can be enabled in your system and might just require an additional controllers within the vending machine, for example. And reports. Your system has a variety of reports, and we can custom new reports. Where has John been? Where have the people of this department have been? Who is late? Who didn't arrive? Etc., etc. And reports can automatically be sent by email. You could have SMSs on certain events. For example, door opened illegally, send an SMS to certain cell numbers. Time accumulation, we can define certain readers as clock in, others as clock out, and we will accumulate. We will tell you how long has each card been inside for the day, week, and month. And yes, you set these up that for certain persons, it's only when they get to their workstation. When they go and have a smoke, we clock them out, etc. And there are a variety of links to external systems where we exchange data. They give us a spreadsheet for new cards that are enabled. From their HR system, new persons that are added into the system. And link to external time and attendance systems as people clock in or clock out. So I have mentioned a few options available to your systems, upgrades to your systems. So why upgrade Softcon? Well, you should ask the question, why Softcon? And we are saying, if you want effective building management and secure access control, how can you use a system that is not Softcon system? You have a Softcon system, upgrade it, renew it, and we can do anything, almost anything. Please call Softcon. Go to our website, communicate with us. We can help analyze your system, where you can add, where you can change to make your system the best in the world. Thank you.